Start with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'll take them on the road -4.5 against the Indianapolis Colts. Give me the Browns. You give me those 2 points with them. Nick Chubb's going to be running the hell out of the football. This one's going to buck the trend because this one is not a popular pick by any means, and that's Tampa Bay, Minnesota. I'm going to take the under 45.5. I'm taking the Titans. I'm taking the 3 points. Road dog here. It's Lamar Jackson over 50.5 rushing yards. It's -115 on DraftKings. Again, I think that a lot of people are thinking that he's not going to run as much because of this air raid offense. Washington Commanders taking on the hapless Arizona Cardinals. For me, I'm taking Brian Robinson. I'm taking the over 57.5 rushing yards. I want to see how Kellen Moore handles things. I know what his offensive scheme does. I know what it dictates. Moore wants Herbert to be looking downfield. He doesn't want him to be, doing the old check down work. That's why I've got Austin Eckler under 4.5 receptions. Kirk Cousins over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I would do that. I'd do that for Trevor Lawrence too.
Bettor Sports Betting is your home for picks, props, and futures for tonight's action. Bettor Sports Betting wants to know what picks you're playing tonight. Tell us in the live chat on YouTube, Twitter, and the Bettor Sports Network app. This is Bettor Sports Betting with Fantasy Alarm's Dan Servodidio.
Yeah, boy.
The Bettor Sports Betting show where Howard Bender's just printing money over here. Love it. Love it. Week 1, just a massive success on this show for Friday, at least on the Howard side. I gave out some losers, whatever, but awesome stuff. Howard Bender coming in here hot and pumping his chest on a Monday with his Jets playing tonight. What's up, Howard?
I got to tell you, dude, yeah, I was super, super stoked about this. No doubt about it. 8-1 on the picks, 9-1 if you include that little sidebar of Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, the Trevor Lawrence edition. Love that.
Dude, that was absolutely spectacular. Listen, we had a great day. You and I were both on the Pittsburgh Steelers, by the way, for the record there. I don't even know what the hell happened.
That was a loser from the play one.
Right. I mean, you knew it was 10-0 and you were like, oh, we're done. Okay.
Yeah, there's no way. Nope.
But oh, baby, man. Listen, yeah, all these picks, they all cashed. I made some great money. I felt so good about it. Yeah, I mean, listen, you know what? Fantasy Alarm had an amazing week 1 overall. And I think that's really what it all comes down to. The family winning.
Yeah, we helped you guys out all weekend and obviously all last week, but all weekend setting those DFS lineups, your fantasy football drafts. Hopefully you guys get a week 1 win in fantasy. And for this show, we're focused on betting, but hopefully you guys all made some winning picks and tailed Howard on a lot of those picks. Because, I mean, 8-1 overall. I mean, you missed on Lamar Jackson there. What the heck? Come on.
Oh, dude, that was what the funniest thing was is that I'm sure if I did like a confidence pool with these picks, I probably would have been like that would have been one of the most confident picks that I thought I was making there. I couldn't believe. There's just so much about that, and I will 100% credit D'Amico Ryans for really putting together as strong of a defensive game plan as he did. That was pretty tight.
Listen, I gave out the Texans. That was one of my losers, +10 on the spread there. And for a minute, I thought they could cover in like the second half when the Ravens were on just all right, let's get to next week. But they end up losing. Just if they scored a touchdown in the end, they would have covered, but they did not happen. So that was one of my losers. But yeah, the defense was feisty, and I think it was like a 9-6 game or 7-6 at the halftime for that one. But your Browns call, they obviously just dominated the Bengals. The Bengals offense looked terrible. Burrow did not look good. Titans was a great call. That one, I'm sure you're watching, but if anybody missed it, so they're losing by 4 points or 5 points. And they're driving down at the end of the game to try to score and maybe take the lead. And Vrabel He goes for the cover. He doesn't even go for the win. He goes for the cover. He kicks a field goal to cover the spread. And they still had time to get the ball back and try to score again, maybe kick another field goal to win. But the Saints held on to win. But your Titans pick cashes, so who cares?
The Jaguars Colts game, that I was sweating at the end. Because that was a 10-point game, and the Colts had the freaking ball right inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And Anthony Richardson, he gets knocked out, right? He suffered, I don't think it's a serious injury, but it was some kind of leg injury. He got knocked out of the game in that last drive, and they have the ball at the 4-yard line. And Gardner Minshew comes in, and I think if Richardson stays in the game, they probably go into the end zone.
He just would have run it in. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, he would have run it in himself, but Minshew was scrambling around and did not get it done. So huge win there. And the Tampa Bay Minnesota game was that was a good call on the under there. Lots of wins on your end, Howard. Awesome stuff. I went 2-4-1 on my picks. The push was Eagles Patriots under 45, ended up right at 45 total points there. Mentioned the Steelers loss. They had no chance in that game. The 49ers just came out. All credit to Brock Purdy. I've been kind of hating on him in this preseason, but he just keeps winning with this 49ers team. The Falcons -3.5 cash for me. That was, they pulled that out in the second half. They really pulled away from the Panthers there. So cashed on that one, but the Texans was a loss for sure. It was obviously risky taking back in the rookie quarterback, rookie head coach on the road at the Ravens, but you got to go with some chances there. Hit on Calvin Ridley over 62.5 receiving yards. That was, he went over this in the first half easily. Was getting heavily targeted by Trevor Lawrence. That's gonna be an awesome combination just to watch all season long. Missed on Drake London and AJ Dillon props. London held catchless. Everybody missed on any Drake London prop.
That was like Drake London and T. Higgins. You want to talk about
T. Higgins also catchless.
Yeah. Oh my Lord. So yeah, that was a tough one.
That was rough. So, but we wiped the slate clean, looking over into week 2. But it's good to kind of like learn from some of the wins, some of the losses. Maybe games you had a good read on, but just kind of suffered a bad beat in the end, or if you just had a bad read on it overall, like my Steelers pick. It was just the wrong side to be on overall the whole game. But if you have any of your own, wins you want to brag about or losses that you suffered, bad beats for week 1, definitely hit us up in this chat over on YouTube, wherever you guys are watching. Appreciate joining us here on a Monday. And we'll definitely touch on some of the other bad beats and stuff that went down in week 1. We have a Monday Night Football game tonight. Jets versus Bills.
Who's playing?
I don't know. It looks like there's certain green team that you're rocking. So we'll be giving out some best bets in just a minute here. Also giving out some baseball betting picks for tonight. If you guys want to have some other side action besides Monday Night Football, me and Howard will give out some best bets for that one. I do want to touch on just some college football bets, kind of reviewing what some of the picks I gave out on Thursday, and I gotta own the Nebraska pick I gave out against Colorado, because I will say on one side the Nebraska defense did come out with a good game plan, which I thought would happen. Matt Rule having this team ready to go, and the defense did frustrate Colorado and Shedeur Sanders for most of that game, and gave him a chance to actually make it competitive. The offense, though, for Nebraska very much let us down. Had no real shot at covering that +3 as underdogs. So, got to own that one. But I do think, like, going into it, I really thought Nebraska had a chance to win that game outright. But their offense, if they had a better offense, they would have definitely kept it more competitive. I suffered a terrible beat on Texas Tech plus 7.5.
You know what? Adam Bernard and I were watching that game from Vegas on Saturday. So
yeah, you saw how that game ended. So Texas Tech is basically covering their spread the entire game. We're winning at certain points, beating Oregon, a really good Oregon team at home for Texas Tech though. And then the end of the game, the Texas Tech quarterback Tyler Shuck throws a pick six as they're trailing by 1 at that point. He throws a pick six, so they're up by 8 then is Oregon and covers the 7.5 spread. A rough beat in the last minute to lose that way when you're on the right side basically the whole game. So that one was tough to stomach, but did give out a winner with the Utah Baylor under. That one was just kind of an ugly, low-scoring game with both teams with their backup quarterbacks in. So knew that one would be lower scoring, and thankfully we had at least one winner on the college football side. But I gave it a couple more on last Thursday that hit and some that missed. But wiping the slate clean, as I mentioned. We got to wrap up NFL Week 1 though, because let's just dive right into Bills versus Jets tonight. Great AFC East battle to just kind of wrap up the Week 1 slate. Bills just barely favored here. 2 points I think is the spread most places. I could see here though your best bet. So what are you going with your best bet?
My best bet I'm going with here. It's a no-brainer. Give me the Jets with the points, and I'll take the under on the 45.5. I think that favorites over the last 5 years. I've got this in the best bets article over at fantasyalarm.com. Over the last 5 years, the favorites have won like 68% of the games. However, underdogs, home dogs, are like a 53 or like a 58% cover rate there. I got again, the numbers are over there. They kind of slipped my mind. I've been going back and forth, but I'm taking the home dogs, baby. I'm taking the home dogs. I think that this game, Jets defense, fantastic. It is the Jets defense is the allure of this team. As much as it's nice as it is to have Aaron Rodgers, a future Hall of Famer quarterback in the team, this is all about the defense. And I think that's going to be a big thing. Sauce Gardner on Stephon Diggs, the Jets pass rush against Josh Allen, trying to contain him. And on the other side, the Bills defense, rock solid. I'm not, the Jets are going to probably make some mistakes. I think both teams are going to try to run the football a little bit. This is one of the reasons why I'm also on the under. I think between both defenses being strong and both coaches wanting to make sure that they establish that run, even though Aaron Rodgers will change to a passing play at a moment's notice at the line, I still think that this is what Robert Saleh wants to do. And they'll have Dalvin Cook doing the majority of the work tonight. So I think that, with both teams trying to, run the football, at least for that first half, it's going to slow things down a little bit. So I like the under. I like the Jets and the points, and I like the under.
I'm with you right on the under. That's my top pick tonight. I just like, the defenses are for sure going to set the tone in this one. You mentioned both offenses probably going to lean on the run game as well, but I do think the defenses on both sides are just going to really frustrate things. And the first half under you could definitely look at as well, but I like the full game under there. The Jets defense held the Bills and Josh Allen to their 2 lowest yardage totals from last year all season long, and 2 of their 3 lowest point totals of the season, 17 and 20 points in those games. And both those games too were overall lower scoring. Both under this total, 37 and 32 total points in those. Obviously, on the Jets side, it was Zach Wilson and Mike White under center for those games. But I do think that the Jets offense is just going to take maybe a game or two to really get going until Rodgers, really clicks with his new receivers, new running backs, new offensive line too. A couple of Mekhi Becton and Dwayne Brown, both a little banged up too, could have an impact here. Same thing with, Dalvin Cook, Breece Hall. We don't know how this workload is going to shake out, but I do think having both those guys is going to help them just want to lean more on the run, as we saw with the Packers offenses of the last few years with Rodgers and A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. So I do think overall it's going to be a lower scoring game. When the Bills played the Packers, kind of, looking at, Bills versus Aaron Rodgers, it was a 27-17 game win for the Buffalo Bills. And so the Packers offense only put up 17 points in this. Rodgers only had 203 passing yards too. So I think the Bills offense kind of knows how to defend Rodgers, how to slow him down. So yeah, give me the under 2. Staying away from the wins or whoever covers, but I like your Jets pick.
Why? Because you don't want to side with the Jets. Come on, man, what's wrong with you?
Well, because I could see both teams winning. It could be it, and the 2-point spread is a little worrisome because I could see it being a field goal win either way. So if the Bills win by 3, then the Jets pick as a loser. But I do think if I was going to pick a side, I would pick the Jets because you mentioned the home underdogs in Week 1. Also, divisional underdogs in Week 1 has also been a profitable thing. So, but I'll go with the under overall in that one.
It's not easy being green.
Listen, I'm green too as an Eagles fan. I bleed green, just a different shade.
Because green is the color of spring.
All right, how about some other bets in this? Any player props that you like that you want to throw out there?
Oh, 3 or 4. Let's see. Where do I want to go to first on the prop front? Right? See, I'm in too great of a mood right now, Servo. I'm sorry. I mean, this is like my pregame warm up of like Jets because I'm gonna have to endure all sorts of Cowboys talk from Jim Bowden after they whooped the Giants' ass 40-0.
Yep.
All right, props that I like. Boop beep beep boop. Aaron Rodgers over 200. Well, it's now the line is 233.5 passing yards, but I got it at Aaron Rodgers over 232.5 passing yards. And I do think that it's the over. I think that Aaron Rodgers wants to sling the rock. He needs to sling the rock. He wants, again, they'll try to establish the run early on with some Dalvin Cook and some Breece Hall, and we'll see what happens. With the two of them. I do think Cook gets the majority of the work here because, of things that we've seen football-wise, right? Like we saw Jahmyr Gibbs held back. We saw Bijan Robinson get held back. So when you've got Breece Hall coming back in there, that's why I think Cook. But that's not why I'm on Aaron Rodgers here because, Nathaniel Hackett as an offensive coordinator. I mean, here's my impression of Nathaniel Hackett as an offensive coordinator. All right, Aaron. Well, whatever you want to do, just go to the line and you tell me. I don't know, run, pass, it doesn't matter. That's how Nathaniel Hackett has made his bones as an offensive coordinator. We saw what happens. He did that with Russell Wilson last year. Russell Wilson was like, what the hell? What are you talking about? I don't know how to run an offense here. But boom, Aaron Rodgers does, and he wants to show up Green Bay in a big, big way. So you know what? Over 232.5 passing yards for me.
All right. Well, you mentioned the Dalvin Cook versus Breece Hall split in this backfield. And I like Dalvin Cook's rushing yards over 47.5 on FanDuel. Also, you could 48.5 on DraftKings, but still either one. I think he goes for 50 plus because this is still a guy that is coming off 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. And his talent is still one of the top in the league. I think they brought him in for a reason because of Breece Hall coming off that ACL. Maybe just trying to take him slow in the early goings. But I think Cook coming in here is really going to get the work. I see him getting, 12 to 15 carries at least. I think he goes for 50 plus here. And the Bills rush defense was very good, third best in the league last year. So like that part is a worry for me. But as we were talking about, I just think the Jets are going to try to lean on the run, take the pressure off of, maybe there's some hiccups with Rodgers connecting early in the first half with some of the receivers. So I feel like first quarter, first half, Cook could be getting fed carries here. And he could go over this in the first half. But I like I just think this line is set low because, the presumption is like him and Hall are going to split carries, new offense for Dalvin Cook. But I just think that this line is low. He went over this. He had 50-plus rushing yards in 11 of 14 games last year when he got double-digit carries. Obviously, with the Vikings, different offense. But I think when he gets the work, he's going to put up yards.
Yeah, listen, I kind of just gave you my spiel as to why I like this bet. All right. I think Dalvin Cook gets the majority of the work we've seen. And, listen, yeah, Jet fans will be a little upset. They'll be like, oh, no, Brees Hall, he's our future. He's our future. Run Dalvin. You got Dalvin Cook on a 1-year deal. Run this MFer into the ground. I love him as a player, and I think that he can do it. Not to mention the fact that the Jets use an outside zone blocking scheme, which is the scheme that Gary Kubiak and Rick Dennison used to run for Dalvin Cook in Minnesota when he was having his best years. So, I think, return to the scheme from back then, because his last year in Minnesota, they were using a hybrid power gap and zone running. Now it's all outside zone. It's going to be great for Dalvin Cook, I think.
All right. I'm glad you're on that side of it. What else you got going? I think you got one to pair up with your Rodgers.
I mean, if Rodgers is going to throw for more than 232 and a half passing yards, well, certainly Garrett Wilson's going to go over 67 and a half receiving yards. You telling me that 20% of those yards are going to go to Garrett Wilson? Yeah, I think that number is going to be a little bit higher than just 20%. I think Rodgers knows that he wants to click with him. Yes, he will do a little leaning on Allen Lazard, no doubt about that. I think he'll use Allen Lazard to help himself get into a groove, and then boom, kind of hit it like you saw with Russell Wilson. Hitting like Lil Jordan Humphrey yesterday for a touchdown, or somebody else before he started focusing on Cortland Sutton. And then all of a sudden, you just saw it, boom, 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 4 or 5 straight targets Sutton's way and into the end zone. I think that's what we could see. Rodgers hitting Lazard early and then just feasting with Garrett Wilson the rest of the way.
All right. I'll go an under receiving yards prop on the other side. Stephon Diggs, under 70 and a half receiving yards. I see you shaking your head.
Yes. That bet is in the best bets over at
there we go.
FantasyAlarm.com.
Awesome.
It is 100% there.
By the way, yeah, it's not live right now, but I'm sure we'll be going live shortly, your best bets article. And if you go get the Fantasy Alarm All Pro subscription to get all the week one, the DFS showdown playbook for tonight as well. So definitely get on that, fantasyalarm.com/NFL, to get your free 7-day trial for all the All Pro subscription. But yeah, give me Stephon Diggs under 70 and a half. I don't think he'll be matched up with Sauce Gardner all game. But I do think the Jets overall are going to game plan to kind of limit Diggs here, because the weapons outside of him in the pass catching core for Josh Allen are very, underwhelming. I think they're going to want to force, all right, let's force Gabe Davis to beat us. Let's force Dalton Kincaid to beat us. Let's force Josh Allen to look elsewhere. We're not going to get burned by Diggs. And if it is Sauce Gardner on Diggs man-to-man for portions of this game, or hopefully all of it, we know you've probably heard that Gardner was one of the elite man-to-man cover corners last year. 54 total receiving yards allowed when he was matched up man-to-man with receivers all of last season. So I think, he might just stick to one side. They do have DJ Reed, who's a solid corner on the other side. Overall, the Jets' secondary and defense is very good. So I do think Diggs' receiving yards are limited. I think Allen's passing yards are limited here. One of the best pass defenses last year. So, give me the under on Diggs. It's risky, obviously, because I love Diggs. I love rooting for him. And he went over this prop a bunch last year, but he did go under it in one of his 2 matchups against the Jets. And that was a game where Sauce was kind of shutting down Diggs for the most part.
Listen, I very much in on that as well. I think Sauce is definitely going to do a phenomenal job on Diggs. And like you just pointed out, DJ Reed on the other side, rock solid. And if you've got DJ Reed on one side and Diggs is over there, they can also float safety help. So Diggs on the under. Listen, I mean, you might not even need that safety help because there's no way Josh Allen's going to be passing for 250.5 passing yards. Daddy taking the under on Josh Allen and his passing yard props under 250.5 because this Jet secondary, excuse me, it's no joke. It is no joke. Yeah. And while, I mean, I don't know how many attempts that Josh Allen's going to end up having here, but I don't know, man. I'm questioning what his completion rate's going to be, and I'm betting that he's under 250.5 passing yards.
Yeah, I'm glad you're on that one because that kind of correlates with the Diggs prop that you're also on. But yeah, listen, the Jets defense, pass defense was elite last year. They were third best in the NFL, only allowing 189 passing yards per game last year. So yeah, I'm with you on that Allen prop. All right, so yeah, those are some of our bets. Our producer Adam Bernard also has a pick for this game, so let's bring him in. Well, yeah, where are you going with your
Come on, baby. Come on.
So the thing that keeps jumping out at me that you guys are saying is going to be a lot of running in the first half, a run-heavy game. So middle linebackers tend to get a lot of tackles when you run the ball a lot. The Bills' middle linebacker, Terrell Bernard, and I'm not attacking him because he's had more success with my last name than I ever will, but 5.5 tackles is the line tonight, plus 120 to go over on DK. If I'm Nathaniel Hackett, this is a second-year player, first-year starter, first game. I'm running the ball at him like crazy. Let's see what this kid is made of. Let's see if, Dalvin Cook can run him over a couple of times. And Breece Hall gets out there. Go 5.5 tackles for a middle linebacker against a game where there's going to be a lot of running. I would go over to begin with, but especially because, let's see what this guy's made of. I think that's an easy one at plus 120.
Like it.
Good call. Good call. Because especially, once any running back gets to the second level, it's going to be the linebackers and the middle linebacker just scooping up all those tackles. So good call on that. Terrell Bernard. Yeah, and they got rid of Edwards. Middle
Tremaine Edwards is or TJ Edwards.
TJ Edwards
or Tremaine Edwards. Oh, it's Tremaine Edmonds.
TJ Edwards.
TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah.
Is this
Edwards was
do I need to get out for a minute or?
No. It's because you are who, or that's who, and he's what, and I don't know right here. Right. Let's get Isabella 30012 in here also. Right. Can we get a little porn bot trying to make her way into our YouTube betting here?
So how's your day going? Why don't you tell us about your day, Isabella?
I know, right? Isabella, if you're really for real, I want to hear how your day is. Right?
Isabella.
We know Howard's day is going.
What's that A in there?
Oh, it's Isabella. Oh.
Catchy.
I see what she did there. I'm 100% in for that.
All right. So, yeah, those are our picks for Monday Night Football. Should be an awesome game to watch overall. I can't wait for it. I know you can't wait for it, Howard. So those are some of our picks. And by the way, Bettercast, if you haven't jumped on the Bettercast app yet, go download the free Bettercast app because we're gamifying Monday Night Football tonight. Did this for Sunday Night Football, did this for Thursday Night Football. You just if you go download the app right now, free to play contest for tonight's Bills-Jets game. You predict what will happen, make picks, test your NFL knowledge against everyone else. If you just answer questions, there's pregame questions, but there's gonna be live questions coming up, like which team will score next, that kind of thing. But the pregame questions are props that some we just gave out, like over under yards for Aaron Rodgers, over under rushing yards for Dalvin Cook, over under receiving yards for Stephon Diggs. So you can answer all those now. Just download the free Bettercast app in the Apple app and Google Play stores right now. You can win tickets that can be redeemed for official team gear and signed collectibles. So you just answer, the most questions right, and the more tickets you'll win. So go download the Bettercast app right now before Monday Night Football tonight, and awesome, you can win some sick prizes. All right, let's a few minutes left here on our show, but we got to give out baseball picks for tonight because plenty of games out there. If you you want to have another side TV going while you're watching Bills Jets, or some of these games starting up before Bills Jets kicks off. So let's give some betting picks out to everyone. I'll throw one out first here, and I'm going with the Twins money line tonight against the Rays, minus 102 on DraftKings. We got Sonny Gray on the mound for the Twins, and I just feel like it's Sonny Gray versus Tyler Glass now, and I think the Rays are favored because obviously they are the better overall team this year, but also it's Glass now on the mound for them. But I think there's value here in getting the Twins as small underdogs, at least on the money line, because Sonny Gray's been really good at home. 2.80 ERA, 2.61 FIP. Since the beginning of August, he has a 2.36 ERA. And the Rays kind of, quietly below league average offense against right-handed pitching over the past week. And Glass now, he's been very good, just struck out 14 in his last start against the Red Sox. But the Twins actually among the league's best offenses right now, actually second behind the Astros over the past week against right-handed pitching, with 389 WOBA, a lower strikeout rate and higher walk rate than they previously really has had. We've always targeted the Twins against right-handed pitchers for their strikeouts, but strikeouts have been actually down lately. So Glasnow could give up a few runs here, and I think Ray will anchor things on the other end. One of the huge trends I just kind of have been looking at with the Twins, they've won 5 straight series openers now, and 10 of their last 12 series openers. So this is a team that, first game of the series, especially 3-game series, they're looking to make a statement, just get a game under their belt, especially at home here for Minnesota. So give me the Twins money line.
I love me some Sonny Gray. I think the last time you and I were talking best bets last week, Sonny Gray, I was in on him, and he ended up hitting on his strikeout prop. He ended up getting the win. So, me, man, I'm all in on Sonny Gray. All right, so here we go. I got a couple of money line bets here. How about that?
Okay.
It's quick and easy, quick and dirty. Toronto money line, minus 135 on DK. It's a little juice to it, but, Chris Bassett is the first Toronto pitcher since 2016 to actually throw 8 innings in back-to-back outings in a season. It was unbelievable. Aaron Sanchez, of all people, did it in 2016. So Bassett going up against the Texas Rangers. Now, granted, Bassett looked great, and it was Oakland, it was Washington, but the Texas Rangers right now, since the All-Star break, they are barely a 500 team.
Yeah.
So,
they're slipping.
I think Bassett, little love on his side. I'm going to take the Toronto Blue Jays on the money line. And then I'm going to throw down here also, Servo, my anti-New York Yankees bet of the day, and that is the Boston Red Sox on the money line, minus 130 on DK. I just, I just can't. It's bad. I know everybody's like, the Yankees, they're riding momentum after the that big comeback against the Brewers, right?
Yeah,
they not accept the fact that the Yankees. I don't think the Yankees got a hit, let alone a run, until the 11th inning. It was something weird like that, or maybe it was a run. They didn't score a run until the 11th.
No,
inning.
they were no hit until the 11th inning.
So there you go. So boom, right? I mean, that's a team I want to bet on. No, thank you. Red Sox money line minus 130.
All right. Well, your money line cash, but I am giving a Yankees prop out there. I'll go Clark Schmidt over his strikeouts tonight, over 4.5 strikeouts. He's got 5+ strikeouts in 4 straight starts now. 5 of his last 6 starts, he's struck out at least 5. And one of those was against Boston less than a month ago. He had 8 strikeouts in that one. His K rate is increased lately from what it was in the middle of the season earlier, up to about 25% over the past month, leading to some of these more higher strikeout games. And the Red Sox highest strikeout rate versus right-handed pitching over the past week at 29%. Also a low 6% walk rate in this past week as well versus righties. And if you look back at some of the starts, the recent right-handed starters that have faced the Red Sox, 5 of the last 6 righty starting pitchers have had at least 6 strikeouts against the Red Sox. They, one of those was that Glass now start I mentioned, but the Rays really ran through them. So I'm looking for Schmidt to have a good outing here, at least in the strikeouts department. Also, you just mentioned that, the 13 inning extra inning game yesterday for the Yankees. They used up some arms, some bullpen arms. Could be looking at Schmidt going 6-7 innings here, which I think helps him out in the strikeouts. So give me Clark Schmidt over his strikeouts, 4.5.
I'll give it to you. I'll let you have it as long as the Red Sox win the game.
That's fine. I don't care. I don't care who wins. All right, and then the last one I'll give out, the Astros run line. I just, it's Framber Valdez at home. I know he's capable of some blow-ups, which he's had for sure, but at home, I think I trust him a lot more, especially against the Athletics here. 2.91 ERA for him at home, and the Oakland offense just below average, down near the league bottom against left-handed pitching over the past 2 weeks. And he threw a shutout versus the A's at home earlier this season. And then I just like the mismatch on the other side, because it's the Astros offense, which has been crushing lefties, crushing righties. They get a righty starter in Mason Miller getting his start for the A's tonight. It's his first start in the majors since early May, when he was he suffered a little injury, was down in the minors, but now that he's back on the A's roster, they're throwing him back into the rotation. Not expected to go deep, only about 3 innings. He's on a pitch count. And so then we get the Oakland bullpen behind him for the majority of the game. The Astros should put up plenty of run support for Valdez. So even as a home, run line here for the Astros, I still like it. Interesting, another trend to kind of look at for the Astros. So they're massive favorites. I think it's like minus 300 or something on the money line. But this is why I like the run line, because in their last 13 wins, so they're, if you pencil in for a win here as minus 300 favorites in the money line, they've won all 13 of those wins have been by at least 2 runs. So they win these games pretty handily when they do win. So give me them to cover this run line, minus 1.5 there.
Yeah, I love hitting that run line like that when you're getting at least some value on it over such a huge money line favorite. No doubt. No doubt. All right, Twins money line, Astros run line, Clark Schmidt over on 4.5 strikeouts, Jays and Red Sox. All right, man, I'm going to put these bets in. We're good to go.
I just realized we went with all American League teams here, all American League bets here for tonight. I don't know how often that happens. We're just
because there's so much separation between the AL and the NL right now. Like the NL, we know what's happened there. The Braves. It's either the Braves or the Dodgers. Dodgers or the Braves. That's it. It's like a 2-team race over there.
No, the Phillies. The Phillies are there,
Damn.
Speaking of that, the I was watching before we went live here. The Braves Phillies played an afternoon game, and I think it was a 10-8 final score in extra innings. But the Phillies made it close in the end. They hit Bryce Harper hit a game tying a 2-run homer in the 9th to force extras. But
right.
Don't sleep with the Phillies. They did this last year.
Sleep with the Phillies, sleep with the fishes. I'd rather sleep with Isabella, 030012.
Oh, okay.
Where's she? She asked how our day was going. She asked how our day was going, and she didn't even respond. We were like, our day's going great.
Did we respond with how our day was going? I guess
I said our day was great. Look, dude, we opened the show with a video showing me going 8-1 on bets on Friday's show for the NFL. How would your day be going, Dan?
We know your day's going well. I went 2-4-1 on my bets. So
yes, but you have the love of a good woman, a nice little newlywed, helps you out. Right.
Oh, it offsets the losses, I see.
Yeah, okay. See, my wife, she was like, she gave me the finger because the Cowboys beat the Giants, and then she locked herself in the bedroom. Wouldn't even let me in. She was like, the dogs can come in, but you should just go sleep on the couch. As if I even said anything.
So would it be worse if your Jets won tonight? Wouldn't that be a worse situation for you?
No, for me, that's great, dude. Listen, come on.
But you guys can empathize with each other if both your teams lose.
Over 20 years with the same woman, Servo. I take my moments when I can get them. All right. Right. I mean, listen, the Jets have never won the Super Bowl since I've been alive. All right. I've had sex with my wife multiple times. I know what means more to me right now.
On that note, we'll wrap up today's show. Appreciate everyone tuning in here on a Monday. We'll be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. Coming up after us, by the way, the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS live show with John and Pemba and Colby Conway. So stay tuned for that. And then Monday Night Rants tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern with Edward Rouse. So keep it tuned on here. Again, they get the BetterCast app, and you can play along with some of us in that for Monday Night Football tonight. So, yeah. All right. Good luck with all our picks tonight. Good luck with your picks. I hope you stay hot, Howard, because this is a really good hot streak that you're on. And go Jets, right, for you? Go Jets.
Jets. I gotta do the heart thing. Can I do the heart thing over? I don't know how to do the heart thing. There you go. That'll work.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
Bettor Sports Betting on the Bettor Sports Network.